it has been confirmed by NBC through the mother of Kevin Samuels that Kevin Samuels, self-proclaimed relationship guru, has died. Um, his mother said that it was horrible that what social media did to her because she had no idea that her son had died. And it was horrible for her to have found out this way. How do we feel about social media today and its angst to spread news that perhaps they shouldn't spread? And by the way, for an entire 24 hours, this was unconfirmed. How do we feel about that, Ed?
In some ways, it's just the price of stardom, right? Like, whether it's social media or in the past, it's been news, and news is somewhat immediate. It is the price of stardom. In those key moments, we saw this around, when Kobe Bryant passed, and I think we'll continue to see it where, before proper notifications could get made, people have scooped and made the announcement. It's sad. I mean, you feel for a person, no parent should find out their child passed that way. And hopefully we have some way to fix that.
I always talk about this, but there was some type of decorum when it came to being a journalist. And that was way, way back in the 1900s. You did have to have your stories confirmed. And if not confirmed, reconfirmed and reconfirmed. I don't remember many times that people claim people were dead who were not dead when Walter Cronkite was on deck, or Ted Koppel. But this has gotten a little out of hand, the amount of people who we consider dead that end up not being dead. And now this, someone who is actually dead and the family finds out via news rumors, social media. Derek.
Ed's right. It's incredibly sad. This kind of goes back to where we opened the show with the leak from the Supreme Court. Once somebody with 5,000 followers, 50,000 followers, what have you, puts it out into the blogosphere, there are going to be people who assume this is the truth and run with it without checking to verify whether it's true or not, because I just live in Peoria somewhere and I don't have access to that kind of information. But we can't unscramble this egg. What social media is what it is. It's not going away. You can't put a filter on this sort of news being disseminated. It's incredibly sad, but I think it's the new reality. It's the new normal.
Dominique?
Yeah, you got a point, because social media doesn't have the rules that news agencies have, right, that a Ted Koppel has. It's just people posting what they want to post. And so you can't put the genie back in the bottle. It is very sad. I don't expect it to change, but my condolences to his mom and his family and everyone that suffered because of this.
Well, first, my condolences to the family of Kevin Samuels, but social media has its pros and cons. I actually had a good comedy friend of mine pass away, and the only way I was able to get in touch with his family was through Facebook. So I went on Facebook and I let everybody know, and I said, if anybody has any contact with his family members, and his cousin called me. So it was definitely hard for her to hear it that way, but I didn't have any other contact information. So, sometimes social media does have its pros.
It's another thing that concerned me about this story. I want to talk about this for just a minute or so. Someone has died. A man has died. And because of his controversial stance on relationships, specifically women, people were not too kind in the comment section about his death. They were not saying RIP, sad this happened. They were more along the lines of, oh, well, let me drink my tea. Okay, what's next? There was a lot of hate going on in the comment section and not caring about his death.
Yeah, he's not the only person that's going to have that fate. Tommy Sotomayor, it's a few of them that's going to get some let me sip my teas when the news comes out. So, people were vicious about the death of Kevin Samuels. Like they was holding in all the stuff they wanted to say for this moment. And, I don't even think he would be surprised if he were here to hear how people felt about him in his death. And, he was very controversial and he made a lot of people mad.
Look, I was completely surprised in the comments by the comments. Dominique?
Yeah, I think this is a case where if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. To me, a person's passing away is not the time to disrespect them.
And even someone said, why do people say don't disrespect the dead? The living was disrespected. When he was alive, he was disrespecting us. So why can't we disrespect him? Where did this saying come from? Ed, a lot of people saying that in the comments.
Yeah, they are. But, when you think about comments on the internet, this has always been the case. People hiding behind their computer can say the most provocative and most hateful things. And I think this is par for the course. I think we see this anytime someone that is sort of a provocateur passes. I remember when Rush Limbaugh passed and, a couple others, but the comments come out and it's usually someone sitting in their computer and thinking that they're anonymous and making those statements.
Derek, how you feel about that? Hating on the dead.
Ed's exactly right. It drives me crazy. So people hide behind the anonymity that the internet provides. They take their courage pills and become keyboard warriors and say things on the internet that they'd never say face to face. And that's the rule we need to have. Of course, we can't have it. It's impossible. But never say anything on the web to somebody that you would not say to them if you were looking them directly in the eye. People get on the internet and all of a sudden, I'm somebody that I'm not because you don't know who I am. And he's right. This happened with Rush Limbaugh. This happened with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. People are indecent, and the internet just empowers their indecency.